In a dystopian future, there's vampires and such all around. People live in villages like they did in the olden times. And a young girl who's fighting all these creatures, she's out at night fighting these creatures, and she gets bitten by, like, the big boss vampire. This vampire wants to kidnap her, make her his wife, all this stuff, and she's like, I don't want to do none of that. So she has a vampire hunter named D, and he's super cool, and he's gonna protect her, and there you go. Now, by far, the best thing in this movie is D. He is such a well fleshed out character. He's the Mad Max of the vampire world, except he's way more calm, and he's super soft spoken, and he's super cool. And it's his intense demeanor and it's his soft-spoken manner that makes you connect to him in a weird way. And, you are rooting for him. Plus, he's got a great design, the coat, the hat, the Helsing homage. It's great. And the way that his eyes are drawn, that 1,000-yard stare, that tells you so much more about his character than anything you could get from dialogue. And I enjoy the look of the world. I enjoy this combination of, grungy future stuff with Bram Stoker aesthetic. Now, all of the characters surrounding D are serviceable. They're somewhat archetypal. They do some interesting things with them. It's not perfect, but, there are things that are there that other movies don't do. Our main villain is a 10,000-year-old vampire who wants to force himself on a woman because he hasn't had any for a little while. However, his two underlings are pretty interesting because they have arcs and they go through changes. One of them is this lower class vampire, he fights for the bad guy and he's just, he's kind of tired of it. The other one is a little more difficult to care about because her main thing is that she's racist against humans. She hates the idea of someone who's not pure blood vampire being welcomed into her family. And then there's this girl that D has to protect. She fights the monsters, she fights for herself, but every once in a while, she needs protection. And the character itself is fine, it's solid, you care about her, she feels human. But oh my god, that skirt being that short is so distracting. Now, there are monster women with skanky clothes, and I'm fine with that because that kind of shows their arrogance and their confidence. It tells you visually that they're beyond human standards. But when you have a normal human girl just walking around a village and her underwear is just sticking out, like it's literally there and you can see it. Now, I understand why they drew her that way, but it doesn't fit the character, and it's distracting and it's stupid. There's a kid, and the kid's fine. He says some things here and there. It helps make D open up a little bit more. He's a good tool for making an arc progress. Look, they did good work on this animation. Okay? These people did good, hard work. Most of the frames have lots of detail. Their hair, the way the wind flows against the grass. They put the work in, and that should be appreciated. They did a great job. I'll admit that animation feels a little dated at times, but you know what? They put the work in, and it should be appreciated. We also have a really solid soundtrack, which totally sets the tone all the time. We have some great themes. We have a great Mad Max character in D, along with a really fascinating world, which is both a future sci-fi world and a Bram Stoker world. And we have a solid supporting cast of characters that help keep things interesting. It might not be perfect, and it might not be the most gracefully told story, but it's got stuff in there. It's got stuff. I'm gonna give Vampire Hunter D a B.